Hello, Lakers. My name's Ryan Gwynn, and I was a 2019 graduate of Danbury Local Schools. I'm currently a student at Ohio University studying elementary education. Um, I'm just here today to talk to you about accountability and what it means to be accountable within the Laker community and outside of the Laker community and how it correlates. So, accountability is owning and accepting responsibility through reliable and consistent daily effort. So, Lakers, today, I just want to talk to you about what it is to be accountable inside the Danbury community and outside of the Danbury community. For starters, you know, when I think of someone who's accountable, I want you to be someone who is always ready to get the task done without being asked. For instance, if you're in practice, either cross country, basketball, baseball, you're the first one in that gym, always ready to get work done, always ready to put that time in. If you're in the classroom, you're the first one to always sit down, get ready, get your notes out. Now, outside of Danbury, we're working in the workplace in this community. You have so many wonderful employers in this community. You want to be that individual who is always being counted on to get the work done and to work as a family within that business when you're trying to reach the common goal of satisfying whatever customers you're going to help. Now, moving forward, when you think about being accountable, like I said before, it's about owning and accepting responsibility. And Lakers, it's very important to put accountability at the forefront of your life. You have to own accountability at every moment of your life in order to make sure that you're putting yourself in front of all of your peers and all of your coworkers, bosses, to be recognized on the daily to show how accountable and how much of a leader you are within your workplace, within your school, or within your community. So I want to thank you for allowing me to speak and introduce these wonderful nominations that we have. Now I'd like to take the time and introduce you to the 2021 Accountability Award winners for the Danbury Core Values.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Joe Miller, and I'm the high school, middle school principal at Danbury Local Schools. It's an honor for me to have the opportunity to bestow on a community member the core value of accountability. The definition of accountability is owning and accepting responsibility through reliable and consistent daily effort. If you are someone who emulates accountability, you inherently demonstrate these kinds of qualities. You take responsibility for your actions. You don't make excuses. You are on time and punctual. You control your own fate. You manage expectations. You collaborate with others. And you do that all without expecting any praise. When you think of the word accountability, Mrs. Missy Skinner's name immediately comes to mind. She is a hardworking, dedicated, and thoughtful individual who exemplifies accountability at all times. Missy is the owner and operator of the Marblehead Galley restaurant, which is located on Main Street in Marblehead, Ohio. Missy has been a huge supporter of the Danbury Local School District for the past 20 years. Anytime we have needed assistance for anything, Missy always is willing to help. Here are some examples of her unwavering commitment to Danbury. Each and every year, the Marblehead Galley donates to the highest monetary level of sponsorship for the Danbury PTCO. And prior to the PTCO, the Galley did the same thing as a member of the Danbury Athletic Booster Club. She has provided pregame meals for football and basketball boys and girls teams over the past decade. Missy caters meals to support fundraising efforts for the Danbury PTCO and the Marblehead Chamber of Commerce. She has supported our sports teams and the cheerleading squads by allowing them to paint spirit wishes on her restaurant windows. Missy has volunteered to be a panel member for the recent 3E's night and discuss employment skills, abilities, and opportunities with our students. She has volunteered numerous times in the volleyball, football, basketball, and track concession stands. Missy has organized and coordinated after-prom activities for our high school students. She employs dozens of students each year and provides great flexibility in scheduling their work times around school activities. Missy is a member of the Marblehead Chamber of Commerce, the Marblehead Merchants Group, and the Danbury PTCO, which are all community organizations that provide donations and services to our school district. As you can see, Missy is very deserving of this award, and it is an honor and privilege for me to present the Community Core Value Award of Accountability to Mrs. Missy Skinner. Congratulations, Missy.
The individual who earns the Staff Accountability Award checks all of the boxes for what it means to represent this core value. Someone whose words and actions align consistently. Check. Owns and accepts responsibility. Check. Establishes goals and feedback. Check. Is reliable, responsible, and puts in daily effort consistently. Check. Self-reflects in order to find areas in which to improve. Check. Candy Hurt is accountability. Over the past 2 years, I have been able to observe Candy work hard each and every day to constantly reevaluate her teaching practices, instructional strategies, materials, and tools she uses to ensure the learning of her students. She does not shy away from learning new tasks and volunteers to take on new projects. For example, as a social studies teacher, Candy is dedicated to her students having relevant materials. The problem with many social studies curricula is that the moment it is printed, it is outdated. To combat this issue, Candy is developing her own interactive textbook for her students. I have heard Candy tell students that she would not ask them to do anything that she would not do herself. She uses that motivation to ensure students in her government, College Credit Plus, and ROCKS courses reach their learning potential. This means that students are expected to participate in conversations that demonstrate a deep level of thinking and application of their knowledge. Candy also accepts the responsibility for the learning of all of her students. While teaching class, Candy is constantly checking to ensure student understanding. If students are struggling, she will stop and reteach. She uses a different angle, tactic, or approach to guarantee that students understand. Candy continuously works hard to learn new technology skills so she can incorporate them into making learning fun, interactive, and relevant to her students. She's extremely willing to share her knowledge to help her other teachers learn new skills as well. She rarely uses the same exact lesson twice because she self-reflects and tweaks constantly. I have heard Candy speak with passion about the District of Danbury, the high standard in which she holds herself accountable as a teacher, and the high expectations she has for her students. As a former Danbury graduate, it makes sense that there is a fire of pride burning in her desire for every student to learn to a high level.
If you have ever met Mrs. Hurt, you know that she is always there to lend a helping hand in whatever way she can. I've had the blessing of knowing her since my freshman year when I joined the Academic Challenge team, and I now have her for ROCKS, Government, Student Council, and Academic Challenge. Over the years, I've been able to learn much about her and her desire to push herself and others beyond their limits, as she never strays away from a challenge and keeps that mentality for the people around her. ROCKS, a class that Ms. Hurt leads, has forced me to learn so much about myself, and she holds each and every one of us accountable for our actions and work while enforcing the same rules on herself. In government, she is always pushing us to ask questions and never fails to help or give us feedback to make us figure it out. I know that if I'm ever confused with a question or a concept, I can go to her and she will, instead of simply giving me the answer, will let me put the pieces together myself in a way that makes sense to me. I know that I can count on her for our class to be organized and easy to follow with her weekly agendas and open communication when something changes. There's never anything to worry about when it comes to time changes or due dates because she makes sure that everyone is well aware and ahead of time. She makes sure that every student feels cared for and has a proper learning environment. In Academic Challenge, she is always encouraging us and teaching us how to do better. Mrs. Hurt holds all of us to a high standard, knowing that we are intelligent enough to understand, and she knows that with some tough love, we will get there. She doesn't stop there either, as she is also an advisor for the Student Council, in which she works hard to keep us on task and complete everything we set out to do. While some of the projects that Student Council takes on can seem demanding and difficult, Ms. Hurt never fails to put forth her best work and keep all of us responsible for ours. Mrs. Hurt holds herself accountable for everything that she does in her class and things that she does outside of class. It is a pleasure to know you, Mrs. Hurt, and I am beyond grateful for everything that you have done for me. It is my honor to award Mrs. Hurt with the core value of accountability. Congratulations.
Lakers, I have the pleasure of introducing two students that have nominated their friend for this month's core value winner under accountability. Accountability is the hardest core value for our elementary students to see and grasp the definition. It is this award ceremony that shows the definition in their world. Our core value winner that represents accountability in our elementary school is Carly Pelfrey. Joining us today is Trevor Oglesby, a former core value winner for relationships and another core value winner, Natalie Fox, for relationships. These two both know the power of this award and what it takes to be accountable. Congratulations to Carly for representing our elementary school in her words, actions, and deeds for accountability.
I nominated Carly because she will always be there if you need her. She will always help you when you drop something or can't find something. Carly will help you. I think that accountability is exactly what Carly resembles every day.
I nominated Carly because she is the definition of accountability. She is trustworthy and polite. She commits to everything she does. If Carly sets a promise, she will not break it. That is why I nominated Carly. Congratulations, Carly!
It is an honor to stand up here today and present the Middle School Accountability Award to Mr. Cannon Crownover. As his language arts teacher for the past 2 years, I have had the honor of getting to know Cannon. Since the day he walked into my classroom, he displayed key characteristics of someone who is accountable. Whether talking about academics or athletics, Cannon sets high goals for himself. He strives to do his absolute best and makes no excuses. He holds himself accountable to every due date, whether it is an assignment, project, or test. Additionally, he commits a lot of time to preparing for his athletics before, during, and after the season. Cannon is a person who never complains about having to do something or when an assignment is due. Instead, he focuses on what he needs to do and gets it done. Bob Proctor, a New York Times bestselling author and business owner, once stated, "Accountability is the glue that ties commitment to the result." Based on this quote and Cannon's incredible work ethic, I know he's going to achieve so much in his life. Cannon is never going to stop setting high goals for himself, reflecting on the results, and adjusting as needed in order to accomplish everything he wants. As his teacher, I see how he is the perfect example for our accountability core value. However, I am not the only one. One of his closest friends, Charlie Lenthy, is excited to explain how Cannon has displayed accountability throughout his whole life. Congratulations, Cannon.
I've known Cannon for about 12 years, and in all my time knowing him, he has always been a genuine and responsible person. From learning how to ride a bike to playing Power Rangers in preschool, Cannon has always set high goals and standards for himself to get better at what he is focusing on. After meeting his goals, he would even help others. For instance, when Cannon and I were neighbors, we learned how to ride bikes together, and when I struggled, he helped me to get better. However, he did get in trouble like every kid does, but when he did get in trouble, he would always fix his mistakes and learn from them so it didn't happen again. Not only is he accountable for his actions outside of school, he's also always accountable for them in school. He never falls behind in classes and always has his work in early despite playing sports, which takes up most of his free time. If you ever need help with homework, Cannon is always right there to help you. He doesn't just help people with homework, he also helps people feel better when they're upset. Cannon is an easy person to talk to because he is a good listener and always gives the best advice. These examples are just a few ways Cannon demonstrates accountability on a daily basis. No matter what is going on in life, Cannon always pushes through all the tough times in order to achieve his goals. Congratulations, Cannon.
Good afternoon, Lakers. I'm Mr. Nateki, the Technology Director for Danbury, and I'm honored to have a chance to talk to you today about accountability and to help introduce our high school honoree. Accountability can be a bit of a tough topic to understand. We all know leadership or kindness when we see it, but what does it really mean to be accountable? John Wooden is a former UCLA basketball coach who won 10 NCAA championships, including a record 7 in a row. He summed it up for me when he said, "The true test of a person's character is what they do when no one is watching." That quote was shared with me when I was in high school, 16 or 17 years old, and had just gotten myself into some pretty big trouble. It's something that has stuck with me ever since then, 30 years later. The true test of a person's character is what they do when no one is watching. Think about that for a moment. He's saying that as a person, you're defined not by what others see or what they think of you, but the way you behave when no one else is watching. This is the true measure of accountability. It's not how you behave when your teacher is in the room, But what happens when your teacher isn't there or there's a substitute? It's not the grades you get in order to maintain eligibility or avoid punishment, but the effort you put into your schoolwork every day without being asked. It's not how you treat your friends or classroom in public when adults are watching, but how you treat them in private when no adults are around. It's not how you use technology at school when you know Mr. Nateki monitors and gets emails when things go wrong, but what you do on your own computer, your phone, or your Snapchat account when no one else is watching. So Lakers, I challenge you to always strive to be the person you want the whole world to see, especially when no one else is watching. And that brings me to this year's high school honoree for accountability, Austin Bell. Austin joined our lead IT team this year, and from the very beginning, his work ethic and sense of accountability impressed me. He's someone I know I can count on to come in and get down to work whenever it's needed. Even if his classmates are unfocused or goofing around a bit, Austin is focused on what needs to be done and is willing to help the rest of the class stay focused and get things done. When he finishes a job, he doesn't sit and wait for someone else to tell him what's next. He's always asking and looking for what needs to be done to keep the entire team on track. But don't take my word for it. Here are a few of his classmates and teachers to share their personal experiences. Congratulations, Austin.
The definition of accountability is someone who is friendly, leads by example, and takes responsibility for their actions, and is dedicated to anything they do. Austin Bell exemplifies these qualities. He is a respected leader for Danbury's baseball team, Lead It team, and to his classmates.
As part of the Lead It team, Austin is a no-nonsense student. As soon as he walks into the classroom, he gets right down to work. He often shares his ideas and demonstrates skills to his peers. Austin is always very accountable for his actions and for his work. A very good accomplishment Austin has gotten this year is that he got accepted into National Honor Society, being one of the first Lead It team members to get into NHS.
Overall, Austin is a very good student and role model to his peers. We're all very proud of you, Austin, for all of the hard work and dedication you put into everything you do.
Congratulations, Austin Bell, for winning the Accountability Award for high school.
I would like to say a few words about Austin Bell representing the core value of accountability. To start off, Austin is one of the hardest working people I know. He is very hardworking and he also excels in the classroom. Austin is also someone who likes to have fun while he is working hard. Most of all, Austin is someone you can count on. Back when we were freshmen, we had a group history project. Not only was Austin accountable for his own actions, but he made sure everyone else was contributing as well. Another example was when Austin and I went down to the third grade classrooms to read to them about being safe online and how to ask an adult before going and shopping online. Austin and I are on the baseball team together. You can always count on Austin to be at practice every day and be ready to play every game. Austin is deserving of this recognition because he is dependable, responsible, and reliable. I am proud to present the Core Value Award of Accountability to my good friend, Austin Bell.
Hello, my name is Mrs. Steinbrück and I am the middle school technology teacher. I have the pleasure of getting to also be one of the lead IT teachers, as well as I also teach high school and middle school computer science. By now today, you have heard the definition of accountability and what types of behaviors show accountability. Austin Bell is a student who shows accountability on a daily basis through his actions. Austin is interested in pursuing a technology-related career field, and I learned this about him at the beginning of the school year. He has joined Lead IT and also computer science this semester as a way to explore various technology areas and learn more to help prepare himself for a future career after graduation. I have seen a great deal of self-motivation in him to want to learn more. Austin just doesn't talk about his goals, but he puts in the work to learn, do, grow, and follow through on these goals. In Lead IT, we have the opportunity to do a variety of things, including fixing Chromebooks, photography, making slides for the digital displays in the cafeteria and the offices, and a variety of other tasks. And Austin has learned all of these jobs and skills this year and has done a great job. In computer science, we have worked on HTML and are currently learning more about making animations and games. Oftentimes in learning coding, there's a lot of problem solving that has to occur in creating code and then debugging the code. This can be very challenging at times and requires some persistence and the ability to problem solve. Austin has shown an amazing ability to learn something new, problem solve, learn new skills, and just not giving up. These types of behaviors are things that Austin shows on a daily basis, and it has been so exciting to see him take such ownership and accountability in his own learning. These characteristics are going to continue to make Austin successful in his future. We are all so very proud of you, Austin. It is my pleasure to present the Core Value of Accountability Award to Austin Bell. Congratulations, Austin.